Get ahead of the curve complying with the DSCSA 2023 requirements. Introduction. The DSCSA 2023 requirements are coming into effect soon, and it is important to be prepared. This regulation will require pharmaceutical companies to take steps to ensure the security and trackability of their products throughout the supply chain. This includes the production, distribution, and sale of drugs and medications. Failure to comply with the DSCSA 2023 requirements could result in significant fines and penalties. However, there are ways to prepare for and comply with these requirements. Below we will outline the key steps that you need to take to comply with the DSCSA 2023 requirements. What is the DSCSA? The Drug Supply Chain Security Act, DSCSA, is a federal law that was passed in 2013. The DSCSA requires drug manufacturers and distributors to take steps to ensure the security of the drug supply chain. This includes implementing track and trace programs and sharing information about suspect drugs with law enforcement and regulatory agencies. The DSCSA will be fully implemented in 2023, and businesses need to start preparing now to ensure compliance. What are the requirements for 2023? By 2023, manufacturers will be required to comply with the DSCSA 2023 requirements. These requirements will include track and trace capabilities, lot selection and verification, and the reporting of adverse events. Manufacturers will also be required to verify the authenticity of their products. In order to comply with these requirements, manufacturers will need to make significant changes to their existing systems. They will need to develop new tracking and tracing technologies and update their labeling processes. Failing to comply with the DSCSA 2023 requirements can result in significant penalties. It is therefore important that manufacturers start preparing for these requirements now. Why are these requirements necessary? The DSCSA 2023 requirements are necessary to ensure the safety of the drug supply chain. By requiring manufacturers and distributors to track and trace drugs all the way from the manufacturer to the end user, the DSCSA 2023 requirements will help to prevent counterfeit drugs from entering the supply chain. This is important because counterfeit drugs can be dangerous or even deadly. They can also cause significant financial losses for businesses and governments. Complying with the DSCSA 2023 requirements will help you to protect your business and ensure that your products are safe and of the highest quality. How will these regulations impact companies? It's important to start preparing now for the DSCSA 2023 requirements. These regulations will impact companies in a number of ways, so it's important to understand how they will be affected. Some of the key changes include new requirements for product tracing and track and trace capabilities, as well as new labeling requirements. Companies will need to develop new processes and systems to comply with these regulations, so it's important to start planning ahead now. What can companies do to prepare for the DSCSA 2023 requirements? Now that we are less than 2 years away from the DSCSA 2023 requirements, it's time to start preparing. Here are a few things companies can do to get ahead of the curve. 1. Understand the new requirements and make sure your systems are compliant. 2. Work with your suppliers to develop a system for tracing products throughout the supply chain. 3. Train your staff on how to properly handle and track product shipments. 4. Stay up to date on the latest news and developments related to the DSCSA 2023 requirements. By taking these steps now, you'll be well on your way to compliance when the deadline arrives. Facts on the DSCSA. Are you wondering what you need to do to prepare for the DSCSA 2023 requirements? Check out our facts below for all the information you need. Q. What are the DSCSA 2023 requirements? A. The DSCSA 2023 requirements include the following. Pharmaceutical companies must be able to track and trace all pharmaceutical products from manufacturing through distribution to the end user. Pharmaceutical products must be labeled with a unique product identifier. There must be a secure system in place for exchanging information between stakeholders. Q. How can I prepare for the DSCSA 2023 requirements? There are a few things you can do to prepare for the DSCSA 2023 requirements. Update your tracking and tracing systems to meet the new requirements. Label your products with the new product identifier. Implement a secure system for exchanging information between stakeholders. What happens if I don't comply with the DSCSA 2023 requirements? Non-compliance with the DSCSA 2023 requirements can result in fines and imprisonment. It's therefore important to take steps now to ensure that your business is compliant with all of the latest regulations. Conclusion: the DSCSA 2023 deadline is looming, and if you want to make sure your business is compliant, it's time to start preparing. Here are a few key steps to get you started. 1. Familiarize yourself with the requirements of the DSCSA 2023. This includes understanding the new track and trace system and how to label your products. 2. Develop a plan for complying with the DSCSA 2023 requirements. This will include setting up an inventory management system and creating labels that meet the new standards. 3. Test your plan and make any necessary adjustments. Make sure you're fully prepared for the deadline by testing your plan and making any necessary changes. The DSCSA 2023 deadline is fast approaching, so it's time to start preparing. Complying with the requirements won't be easy, but it's worth it in the end. Follow these steps to get started.